Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our first Euro edition or Euro 2024 edition of the Dream Team Tonic podcast. How you guys doing, Tony?
Oh, God, mate. Looking
Got the
forward
buzz?
to it. Yeah, can't wait to get that going.
I can see that Ben's already got Euro fever going on in the background here. How
You all
doing,
right,
Ben?
lads? Yeah, not too bad. Look forward to the Euros now. Let's get into it.
Yeah, fully embraced it now. Obviously, we were still waiting for that FA Cup final to get out of the way, weren't we, really? And then we had that end of season review last week, but it's full steam ahead now. How you getting on so far? Have you started looking at drafts, planning? How's it looking, Tony?
I've done a little bit. Not going to lie. This format is a lot more difficult than the Premier League because it's your bread and butter, in it. International football. I hate international breaks. So yeah, it's one of them where you just have to spend a couple of weeks before I'm brushing up on lineups, who's been selected through the qualifiers, and you kind of like do a couple of weeks of like a graft before settling on an 11. But yeah, I'm getting there.
Yeah, are you the same? Because I am not ashamed to admit that I watch the Premier League and that's it. Like, even sometimes when you boys talk about the Championship, I'm not even clued up. Like, I solely watch the Prem, and then I watch. My knowledge on Euros is pretty much Champions League, Europa League, and that's me. So I am fully having to look up these people. I listen to other pods, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, this guy from Slovenia. Yeah, I know all about him." Everything I know about him, I've just looked it up. I don't know these players from all like the top 5 leagues and stuff. Do you watch a lot of the other?
Watch a hell of a lot of football. If the missus is out, which hasn't been the case for the last of long being pregnant, but if she's out, I'd often watch a German game or an Italian game, see what's going on. But a lot of the knowledge comes from, like you say, the Europa League, Champions League. Watching that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, you do see a few diamonds. So yeah, a little bit the same.
About you, Ben? You're planning? How's it coming along?
Not too bad. Obviously, I don't watch as much football as Tony does, but yeah, I've done a watch list. I've wrote down all my players I'm quite interested in. Yeah, I've just obviously we're waiting for the friendlies to see how they get on. I think most of them start tonight, so we'll see the lineups. But England's threw a curveball in, haven't they? We're playing like all fringe players basically, and giving them all a chance, which is a good thing. But yeah, just steady away, really. Still a few weeks to go yet.
Yeah, I was guilty of it myself, saying like, "Oh, as soon as we get these friendlies start, that's when we'll start to know what the lineups are." And obviously, that England lineup, I didn't even consider that. Obviously, Bellingham was in the Champions League final, but none of the players that I think were in the FA Cup final have been included either. And I think it looked the same for some of the German players as well tonight. So yeah, maybe we'll have to wait a little bit longer to get the proper lineups. I think I'll have to pick Ben's brain though about a certain Leicester centre back who's picking up a lot of attention in drafts I've seen.
Yeah,
we'll save that for the player picks, but we're going to go through pretty much. We're going to just go straight into our listener questions, aren't we? Because we've had so many.
Yep, there's a lot to get through.
Is my camera on now?
Yeah, you're looking all right. Yeah, your camera's a bit delayed for me, but your sound's coming through fine. Let us know in the chat.
Mine's still frozen on this side.
Let us know in the chat if Ben's camera is frozen. We've tried to upgrade our software for the new season, but not all of our computers are agreeing, are they, at the minute?
I'm still using the old Windows 94.
What's the old early learning laptops? Speaking of the chat, yeah, let us know if Ben's coming through fine for you. But I'm going to shout out a few in the chat because we've got quite a few in here at the minute. We've got Andy Barnett, we've got Plevna joining us, we've got Lee Dot, Ryan Driver, Ian Curry, Connor Tobin, Nathan Wisby, Gary Walker, new sign up, and cheers to everyone that has signed up for the Patreon. We've got a lot of activity over the Euros. Everyone's jumping in to try and win their mini leagues. A few more. We've had Miss Noopy join the Patreon, Ash, Dan Cox, Louis Truman, Steve Broughton, Jack Holman, Kai Heath, Gary, Ash Ingram is back, and Sam Taylor. So cheers, lads, and ladies, for all joining the Patreon.
Appreciate it.
And Aman in the chat as well. What a crowd.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it, during an England game?
That England game must be pretty poor tonight.
It's like C. Tobbs has put in there. Yeah, internationals, pure dross. It frustrates me when we lose our club football for a couple of weeks. Obviously, we lose our fantasy football for that as well. And he's right. Unless it's England in a tournament and the beer garden, that's where it's good.
Just a quick reminder, lads, that are in the chat, please do drop a like on the video. Helps the channel out for us on the YouTube. Let's get straight into it, shall we? For these questions. Bang. There we go. We've got Magoo kicking things off for us. Can you pick him 11? Any teams that may not be holds in game week 1, or any teams to target game week to game week. So
yeah, I've seen a few questions like this, isn't there?
If I bring up the fixture ticker, this is my very, very basic fixture ticker. Not my strongest or my best work, but it will do the job. Yeah, I guess hopping between teams, isn't it, is the main part of the question, because there's a few there that have got a bit of a sandwich, aren't there? There's some that have got good fixtures the whole way through, but just for example, I don't know. We look at Croatia there. They've got Spain and Italy, but they've got Albania in between. Or if you wanted to target Italy, you've got a good fixture to start with, but then the rest are a bit tougher. So any sort of like hop-ons, hop-offs that you like the look of?
I wouldn't touch Group B. I won't go anywhere near that. I think you've got to base your main part of your team around the ones that you can keep, because we've only got 3 subs in between match days.
Yeah,
it's not a lot. It's not like you can change everything up. So 8 of your players from the first week you make having to keep. So hop on, hop off isn't like not going to work with too many. So I would base the majority of your team around like the Germany, who's got a nice group really. Hungary and Switzerland are no pushovers. Neither is Scotland, to be fair. It's not like they're going to whack anybody, but they've got a decent group. And then your likes of England, who should very easily get out of that group. 3 decent fixtures. And Portugal. There's 3 big teams there where I think you've got a couple from each of them teams. And then go from there. But yeah, opening fixtures. Oh, sorry, Belgium. Got to mention Belgium as well. We've got a lovely group. So I do fancy Ukraine. Got a nice bit of form. Some decent little options in there. And obviously, Netherlands, you'd probably want to touch on a few of their assets, but the France game in the middle, you're going to have to just ride that game, possibly. So, yeah, a lot of options. Don't forget, you've only got three transfers.
So would you not try I know you said you're not keen on Group B, but what about like Italy? Would you not want to take maybe the odd player against Albania. I have to be careful. Someone's already pulled me up on calling Albania a green fixture on one of my previous videos.
They're not a bad side,
Yeah,
aren't they?
Once I've done my research, they
I think
actually
they've turned a few bigger sides over. They can score a goal. It's
3-0 up currently as well.
It's a horrible group. It's a horrible group. I don't think any of them games are easy for any of them. So I just fully Spain haven't got a striker. If Spain had a striker for the last 8 years, would have been struggling in these competitions because they probably just won them all. But Morata just doesn't cut it, does he? He's in the squad again, isn't he? They're going to miss a hatful of chances for him.
His record's not that bad in the actual tournaments itself, but I know what you mean.
The amount of chances he misses, it's crazy.
What were you thinking, Ben, looking at the fixtures?
First of all, don't put yourself down. That fixture ticker is brilliant. And it's very simple. Traffic light system, green, amber, and red. Nice and easy. Here we go. England's just scored. Trent scored, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, more questions than answers after this game, isn't there?
Yeah. Obviously, you can get that fixture ticker on the Patreon as well.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, Magoo, who's my tag team partner for the Euros. Again, we tagged up last season. Obviously, get into my DMs and we'll have a chat and we'll try and sort a team out. For 1 week punts in game week 1, I have to say Italy. I do like maybe a Chiesa or something like that for the one game. See how he goes. Possibly on penalties. If they do well, I might hold him for the Spain fixture if I have him. There's a Retegui in there as well, who could be a 3 million striker. I probably won't go there, but because there's so many good options up front in the game. But yeah, it could be one to gamble on. Also, Denmark. I like the Slovenia fixture. So maybe a Højlund or a Eriksson or a Højbjerg or something like that. Netherlands got Poland. So I really like Gakpo. He seems to do really well for the Netherlands. And obviously they've got France the week after, so you could jump off him. And
a cracking World Cup, didn't he, Gakpo?
Yeah. I had him in my team at the start last year, at the last tournament. and I like Turkey's first fixture, Georgia. So maybe a Kanaloglu. Easy for me to say. He's on penalties and all set pieces as well, so you could bring him in and then move him on. 3 million enabler, move him on to someone else who's got a nice fixture. Yeah, what do you think, Scott?
Yeah, for the teams to hold, I think Germany, England, France, Belgium, and Portugal are ones that I'd probably look to just keep them. But sort of as the ones that you just look to target, back on Italy, I do fancy getting a defender in there. You've got there's the two sort of attacking fullback / wing backs, DeMarco and Di Lorenzo, that look pretty good. And then I can't remember the guy's name, but their sort of first choice, or one of their first choice centre backs, got injured playing yesterday. I'm surprised that there was still even normal football on. I think it was just a league game, was it? Or was it one of the cup finals? I think it might have been at Atalanta, potentially. Scalvini.
Yeah.
But yeah, he scored and then went off injured yesterday. I think he was supposed to be one of their first choice.
That was a game that was postponed because Fiorentina and Atalanta played in Europe in the finals, so they had to postpone the last game or something. Kane just scored 3-0.
all is restored. But yeah, I was looking at one of these sort of fullbacks potentially for that one, and then you're going to move it on for Spain after that, aren't you? That's not one that you're going to keep.
Yeah.
And then depending how that goes, I mean, I've just backtracked already and said Albania might not be as easy as first thought, but if Italy do a job on them, I then may consider moving on to the Croatia and then maybe on to Spain, depending how that goes. You could go to a Modric and then maybe onto like a Rodri, or you should know which wingers are starting for Spain by then. So quite like the idea of that. And then, like you said as well, Tony, I quite like those opening two for Ukraine. But we're going to talk about budget defenders, goalkeepers in a minute. So I think save that one potentially. But yeah, I do still think a lot of the time I might even just end up trying to keep a team. I don't know what you think on last season's dream team, but like I told myself too many times that I should have given someone time. So is it really the best idea to hop your strikers about and hop your midfielders about?
I think with the last four, the way it worked last, and you could change in between game days, and you could obviously you could maximize fixtures and stuff and hop between each player and use your transfers as you will. When you've only got 3 in between, it's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be tricky to try and work that out around like injuries as well. Then you get to the last game, and if someone's already got the 6 points, already qualified, you might rest a few.
Yeah.
I
suppose also something that's going to come into it also is the boosters that we're going to be speaking about as well. So we'll come to it as we get there. Solo Higgins, after building a base of players from the big teams, what are the best non-keep teams? I guess we've covered that in one question, haven't we? Magoo and Solo. So cheers for your question. DT Philip, let's get stuck into some players. So his question number 1 is any players 3 mil or less that you think are worth picking. So how have you got on with your first draft to start with? Because I found that budget is quite hard to come by, isn't it?
It is. I've got 3 players in my team that are under 3 million.
Okay. That could be a good place to start. If you got your first draft, Ben, how many have you got under 3 million in there currently?
I have to pull it up. To be honest, I've only done one draft, and then I messed around with it, making a Leicester draft of Leicester players. Where is it? Yeah. So my team has 1, 2, 3 players below 3 million. Well, 3 million and below. No doubt that will change though.
Both got 3 then. I've got 2. I've got 2 currently. But depending on one player. There's a player that I've left out, and then that's making me wonder whether I'd have to add the third. But yeah, currently I've got 2. So let's start looking at. Have you got any 3 million to start with? Because I got really stuck into looking at 2.5 below. I was doing a bit of my own research, and I found all the other price points kind of okay, including 3 million. But it's when you get to 2.5 and below, I've found that's the real tough price point. So have you got any? Has anyone got anything down for 3 million? Because I was getting stuck into 2.5 below.
Yeah, 2.5. I didn't really see much at 3. I've got the keeper from Turkey, Gunok. Obviously, opening fixture against Georgia, which looks great on paper. But they do score goals, Georgia. So it's one that I might drop even further back. And I might go for the Romania keeper at 1.5. But yeah, currently Gunok at 2.5 million. I've got a defender in Orban. You know him, Hungary defender.
Mm-hmm.
He's got from his 4 games in the qualifiers that he played, he would have had an average of 8 points a game on Dream Team, which is pretty decent. So yeah, Willie Orban at 2.5 million. Hungary, who kick off against Switzerland, obviously not got nicest against Germany, but probably just ride that out, and then Scotland to finish the group. A good side, Hungary. I don't think they've lost for 2 years.
Yeah, there's really good record.
Yeah, I think the last time they lost was against Italy. I think they beat us, didn't they? Did they smash us?
Smashed us at Wolves round.
Was that Nations League? Was it?
Yeah, Nations League.
Yeah, they did a right number on us. So a good side who could keep a couple of clean sheets in that group stage. So yeah, definitely like have a bit of a rummage around the Hungary team if you're looking for some bargains. And then I've got one in midfield at the minute because I do want to go with 4 midfielders, but obviously with the budget, it's getting quite tricky. I'm almost dropping back to 4 defenders and just doing 4-3-3, but other route around and Saganov of Ukraine had a cracking season at Girona, who obviously had a very, very good year in the Spanish Primera. So he's got himself 8 goals and 6 assists for Girona this season. He's 2.5 million. Could be a good attacking option for Ukraine, who have a really nice couple of fixtures up first, like Romania and Slovakia. And they're in good form, solid team. Yeah.
Was he a mid, did you say?
Yeah, midfielder, yeah. Gankov.
TSY.
TSY, that's the one.
Stick him on the watch list.
That's what we're here for.
What about you, Ben?
Goalkeepers, I can't look past Dubravka at the minute, 1.5 million.
Yeah, good one.
Been in my team all season.
Carry it on.
Yeah. Slovakia got some good players. So they've got good defensive record. So I'm thinking Dubravka 1.5 million. I think it enables you to get more money into the team as well. Even if you don't spend all the money, you've got the money there to move players about in weeks to come. Obviously, you got Lunin at Ukraine, 2.5 million.
See, I like him. I like the look of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because those, I think those, if we go back to the ticker, I just think I like the look of those 2 opening games a bit more than compared to Dubravka starting off with Belgium. But is it worth the extra mil though? I'm not sure if it can be justified really. He's 2.5 and he versus 1.5.
Yeah, that's the thing. As well, is Magnan injured? The French keeper, Milan keeper. I've heard So
I don't know who gets the nod. Is it Areola or is it who's the other one? Samba.
Samba, yeah, that used to play for Forest.
Yeah,
both 3 mil.
He's 3 million. That could be a good way into the French defence for 3 million.
That's a good shout.
So if he does start, that could be a good one.
As long as they don't give him 1 each in these friendlies, because that'll be a nightmare. If one keeper gets both of them, that'll be all right, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And bloody Switzerland's got goalkeepers coming out their ears, haven't they? You got Jan Sommer, who's probably most likely going to be number 1. He's been number 1 for years. But they've got the Dortmund keeper, Kobel. He's only 2 million in the game. But I can't see him getting the number 1 spot. But if he does, it's a nice enabler for 2 million. Defence, struggle to find obvious picks in defence. Obviously, Sabanye, who's was solid for Bournemouth this year, 2.5 million. Ukrainian defender. We got Cher. He's 3 million. Possibly could be involved with the penalties if, because Rodriguez used to be the penalty taker for years. He's 3 million as well. But I think he's missed 3 out of 4 or something like that. He's missed the last 2 anyway. And then I think Shaqiri's on the penalties now. But Cher likes a penalty, doesn't he? He takes a couple for Newcastle. Yeah. So when the strikers aren't on the pitch. So he's decent. And an old one from the past, Meunier for Belgium. I know he's getting on now, but if he could get in the team, he was really attacking, and he was really good for me in the games past, attacking wise, getting lots of points. But I think Castagna's number 1 at the moment, so we'll have to see in the friendlies.
Another one of your old boys. Yeah.
But against England, Meunier came off the bench, so I don't know. Midfielders, like I said earlier, Kalnoglu, 3 million. Eriksson, he's on everything for Denmark, 3 million. Set pieces. Declan Rice could be a decent shout for 3 million as well, with the points in this game for everything, but he might be a bit more defensive than he is for Arsenal. That's the only thing.
Çalhanoğlu looks a great shout, doesn't he? Because he's on absolutely everything. I reckon he sort of plays a bit of a deeper role, sort of in build up on this. But I think that makes him a little bit better for tackles as well. But he takes absolutely everything, doesn't he? For them.
Yeah. And that Shaqiri 2.5 million. If he's on penalties, he's on set pieces as well. That's a good one. Your mate at your club, who's been playing left back for yous, he's a midfielder for Ukraine, Zinchenko.
Zinny. Yeah, he plays further up, doesn't he? For Ukraine. I don't think I fancy him really.
Yeah. And really struggling up front, like Dovbyk, whatever it's called. He plays for Girona, striker for Ukraine, 3 million. He was top goal scorer in the La Liga this year. Sesko for Slovenia, 2.5 million. He's a really good player, but Slovenia, they've got 3 hard fixtures, so there's so many good options up front in there. So you're not going to.
That's where it's annoying, isn't it? There are good enablers up front, but there's so much focus now on getting the big lads in with the extra points for goals, assists, and now the boosters as well.
Yeah,
I feel like you can't mess around with the striker spots. Is it crept into your mind at all?
You can't try and use that position as for an enabler. No chance. You just can't do it. It just costs you too many points.
I'm in agreement there. It's a bit off on a tangent, but like, I feel a little bit like if you don't go for the big hitters up front, because people can play that goal booster. It's bad enough if you don't have a big hitter, but then if you assume that in every one of the first 3 game weeks people could play the goal booster, you're going to almost get double whammy if they do go off for someone.
Yeah.
Do you not think? It's almost like being captained. Not quite as double, is it? But
yeah, these like I say, you need goal scorers more than ever with that booster. So such a dangerous chip that is. A little bit like part of the bus. It could make or break your competition.
I've picked a few out. You might laugh at this one, but
go on.
Thomas Soucek from Czech Republic and West Ham. I'm liking the look of him at 2.5 million in midfield. Started at 8 of 8 in the qualifying. 90 minutes average. It doesn't get subbed. 3 goals, 1 assist. There's talk that, well, not even talk. He's taken the last 2 penalties for Czech Republic. One of them with that Patrick Schick on the pitch.
Right, yeah. He's a
Did you get-
striker and he's Schick.
Yeah, did you get that, Ben? Was you in or was you out?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, one of them with that Schick on the pitch. So Socek could be on pens. His average would have been 6.6 on Dream Team per game, and he made 22 tackles in the 8 qualifiers, so almost 3 tackles a match. So he could be getting the appearance points, the tackle points, and then we know he loves to sort of creep up with a header, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's dangerous, isn't he?
I think he had 5 shots on target in the 8 games, so not quite 1 a game. But what I thought was the tackles, and a lot of these players, they've had easy groups, and then you think, can they do it against big teams? But I feel like the tackles would be repeatable.
Yeah.
If he's, say, up against Portugal in the first game, he's going to get plenty of action there. And then he can always end up with a header or whatever. So I didn't think he was a bad shout, 2.5.
Did they get? They got absolutely slapped, didn't they, off Portugal, Czech Republic, not long ago, weren't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the score was against them.
I think
they didn't do very well in the group, but you don't need them to do well, really. You haven't got to pick your team to keep them in.
No, I mean, would you? I like Souček. Obviously, second 2 fixtures, Georgia and Turkey. You're probably going to the Turkey fixture, probably needing some to qualify. Would you just let him bring him in for the second game week, or would you just put him straight in and ride out the Portugal game?
Yeah, I was wondering whether he might end up, at 2.5. Could he get you 4 tackles against Portugal, possibly?
Probably.
And would you take? I don't know. Would you take the appearance points plus 2 or something? Maybe a shot on target. If you was offered it, you might take it for your 2.5 slot. But yeah, it's a boring one. But it's just, can you recreate the points from the big hitters without the? It's quite hard to pick a 2.5 goal scorer, isn't it? I like Shaqiri again, who you guys mentioned already. Yeah, seems pretty good for bonus attacking returns. The guy, I know there's been a bit of talk in the Discord of this player, but Hanko from Slovakia as well. He's a left back. Played 10 out of 10 in qualifying. Would have had 7.5 average, 2 goals, 3 assists in 10 games. So he's had 5 attacking returns in 10 games.
Yeah.
But the problem is, do you bring him in if you're going to have Dubravka in goal? Because you're not going to want double Slovakia. That's what I'm struggling with the thought of.
Yeah, you wouldn't have him in. You'd probably avoid that first game, and then he's not a bad option. He's got 2 all right fixtures. Then obviously Ukraine and then Romania. Not bad for 2 mil.
The only thing to look out for with some of these people that have, I mean, obviously the 2 goals, 3 assists, good, but a lot of these groups, you do look at them and they did have a good qualifying. Like Romania, some of their defenders are right up there for what they would have scored points-wise. They kept 5 clean sheets in the groups, but then when you look at who people played in the groups, it's completely different to what they'll have in their actual group. So, but yeah, I thought he looked interesting.
Well, I've got him in my FC24 Ultimate Team. That David Hansko, they pronounce it.
Is he good?
Yeah, he's class on FC, but obviously they bump the overall ratings up at the end of the season, don't they? When they're getting the best teams of the year. But he was one of the best players in Holland this year for Feyenoord. What was it? I got it written down. He had 34 games, 5 goals, 2 assists, and I think got 2 goals and 3 assists for Slovakia as well in qualifying. So he does play left centre back or left back. But yeah, he's decent for 2 million.
Mm. Yeah, there are a few in there. It's just do you want to take a risk on too many? John McGinn done pretty well in the qualifying as well, and I think I saw that. I don't know what minute we're on or if it's ended yet, but I think I saw he got an assist earlier as well. But he had quite a good record in the qualifying. 8 starts, 3 goals, 2 assists, and he did take a pen as well in the qualifying. So he looks like he's on most of the set pieces. There was a guy I was saying from Albania called Asani, and it turns out he scored this evening. I don't think you're going to be going near Albania, so I won't go on about him too much. But he was basically one of these players taking absolutely everything. And a guy called Serin with a C. Serin, he'd had 1 goal, 3 assists, and he was on an average of basically 6 points per game. One of these just taking absolutely every set piece they have, penalties, the lot. So you might be able to find the odd one. But it's just how much do you really want to put your hopes? Would you rather just go for someone that you know, like a Souček or a Shaqiri? I think feels a bit safer.
Yeah, I think obviously everyone who's listening, and we're doing these drafts, when it gets to the end of the first round of matches. So I'm just looking at my draft here. So I've got Doku in, I've got Foden in. Am I going to be taking them out for the second round? No, I'm not going to touch them. They're going to be, unless there's an injury, all your big hitters are going to stay the same. So the way I'm looking at it is that these cheaper lads that we're looking at now and what we're talking about, these are the ones where you're going to have more options. And like you say, we are going over some players that are quite obscure, but these are the players that you're going to have to be switching around between the match days to try and maximise the quality of the fixtures. So like the likes of Souček, who obviously has a crap opening game against Portugal. They've had a bit of a tonking, might get tackles and other things, but it's not looking great for him. But then obviously it turns with Georgia and Turkey, not bad fixtures. You might get an attack in return there. So I know it's not glamorous, but I think that is the way the game is going to have to be played. There's no increase, decrease of prices. It is what it is. The only thing that you might do is obviously we know there's 4, possibly 5 big hitters up front, and you might alternate one of them.
Yeah, that's a good shout because, like, I mean, yeah, you could if you just wanted to rotate one of your enablers, you could go like Turkey against Georgia, hope for the clean sheet. Then you maybe push that player on into midfield, and that could be my Souček against Georgia, or you could just rotate your enabler because, like I mentioned earlier, like I've tried rotating my striker before, and then I do it one week, the last guy scores. I do it this week, this guy scores. But with your enabler, if you just wanted to try and get a clean sheet, I don't mind hopping fixture maybe.
Yeah.
Back to 3 million, Ben. Talk to us about him without face, because I think he's getting a bit of attention at the back. Supposedly should start, played 8. Started 8 in qualifying. Obviously carries attacking threat, but most of the attacking threat I remember from him is headers in his own goal. How's he looking?
Cracking Urdu.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a bit wary about picking him. Obviously, I've watched him. He's in the Championship. He looks class, but in the Premier League, I don't know. He's just, like, he's a bit like David Luiz, even though he looks like him. Calamity. He's like good, decent on the ball, but he's got a mistake in him. But then he'll like go on. He won it right against Preston, last game of the season. We needed to win the league, and he went on a mazy run with the ball from centre half. He had a shot, he got to the edge of the box, had a shot, hit the post, and then he bounced out to Vardy, and Vardy just smashed it in. But it was like, if he scored that goal, it would have been talked about for years. But it was just like the way he went with the ball and dribbled around everyone, it was unbelievable. But he's not one I would pick. I thought you were going to mention Vestergaard, because Vestergaard is the man who will probably get the bonus points for passing. He was the highest passing. He had the highest pass rate in the championship last season. He's just like a deep line playmaker. You know what I mean? Gets the ball and he just pass, and then he'll find a long one. He'll just ping a long one. He's decent on the ball. So I don't know how that'll.
I couldn't tell you if he's had an injury or anything, but he only started one and came off the bench in one.
Yeah, that's because he's playing in the championship and Denmark, and he wasn't playing the season before, so Denmark booted him out the squad.
Okay.
And now that he obviously had a good season and they're back in the Prem, he'll get back in the squad. Obviously, get back in the squad now. So, and he was in the squad when England beat him in the Euros, weren't he, in the semi-final? So it's just because he wasn't playing that they booted him out. But now he's back in the squad. He'll be playing. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on with the new points, because he's always on the ball for Leicester anyway. I don't know what it'd be like for Denmark.
What about talking 3 million? And I know we're going off on quite a few. We've got a load of questions to get through, and we're already deep in, but I'm excited for the Euros. If I saw them, obviously they've rotated the team a lot, but Stones wasn't in the squad, but he should be okay. But then I think I saw today that Maguire potentially could miss the first group game. Would you take a gamble on like a Gahey or a Branthwaite, or because of the deadline and not knowing who starts, would you just avoid it, see what happens first game?
Yeah, you can't go there, can you? It's like trying to guess a city centre half then. Yeah, I'd avoid that one.
If they were ruled out properly, you could have something open up there, but
you don't know who he'd play there. Obviously, you'd think Stones. If Maguire's out, is it Gay? Is he going to play Konza?
Yeah,
It'd be a tricky one. You're a brave man.
And last one, did anyone mention Ericsson?
Yeah,
I think he looks decent.
Yeah.
Right, let's go on then, shall we? Actually, 3 million less. Are you going big on midfielders and forwards? Are you spreading it throughout the team? I think we've kind of looked, but your cheapies, are they looking like midfielders or mostly just defenders and keeper?
You're going to go keeper and defenders, aren't you? With that goal booster, you need to be having as many attacking players as you can. So, yes, 3-5-2, 3-4-3.
Yeah, I agree. I think goalkeeper's got to be cheap. I'm tempted to go with a couple of cheap midfielders at the moment, because there's obviously countries that have set piece taking players that are quite cheap in the game. So possibly I might have 2 cheap midfielders and go a bit bigger in defence. Only because you got like players like Cancelo, Dumfries, Van Dijk's on penalties for the Netherlands as well. So it could be potential to have some high-scoring defenders there.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. My first thought was, well, obviously the keeper definitely for me is looking like it's going to be a 1.5 or a 2.5. But yeah, I currently am looking at. I haven't decided who, but I'm looking at maybe sticking a 2.5 slot in midfield to let me get some sort of bigger defenders like Cancelo, who you mentioned. So, but yeah, I'm trying to do bulk of big hitters in midfield and attack, really. Yeah, because of the new points with the 6 points for the goal, 3-point assist, and the boosters, I think.
We're not obviously we're not at the question yet, but we touched on the Szoboszlai and how much value for money he is at Hungary. 3.5 million. I mean, it's an absolute steal. The stats don't lie when it comes to him and what he'll bring to this game. Everything for Hungary goes through Szoboszlai. Obviously, a decent season at Liverpool as well. He's only 3.5 million. I think he is the best value on the game. He's 8 games played, 4 goals. Qualifiers, he would have averaged 11.6 points per game in those 8. So, yeah, like you say, qualifiers, they're not always the best to go off, but a very solid Hungary side. Anything creative, goals or assist-wise, usually comes through him. 3.5 million. They've not got the worst group. I'd expect them to get through that. Was it not? Was it the World Cup or was it the Euros last time that Hungary did they draw 2-2 with Germany? They did a right number on a couple of people. They were kind of like a surprise package. So
Yeah,
obviously
they qualified, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean they're not. Yeah, they were the group of death, weren't it?
Group of death. I think it was Portugal, Germany, and I can't remember the other team was, but they qualified easy as well.
Yeah, they were unreal. But yeah, I can see them doing something similar. Like I say, to get past, so you got Switzerland and they got the Germany game, which you could hold them for anyway. Like I say, he's on everything for them, and then Scotland to boot, like to finish the group.
Yeah, I think he looks brilliant. I'm looking at him as someone that I'm probably going to keep for the whole groups. I think.
Yeah,
even including Germany.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it would. Sorry, they didn't qualify, but they gave a good account for themselves. It was France, Germany, and Portugal, and they only lost 1 game. They drew the other 2 games. Portugal and Germany got 4 points, and France got 5. So it was very close. It went down to the last game.
Yeah, they were winning, and they went 1-0 up or something in the last game, didn't they? I think I remember rightly. Not so sure if I remember.
I bet that was a game. I bet that was the team as well when we were looking at the fixtures, thinking target Hungary.
Yep.
Yeah.
With your French team, with your Portugal players.
Yep.
So yeah, it doesn't always work, does it?
Yeah, it was a 2-2 score draw the last game against Germany, and Germany scored in the 84th minute. Hungary were winning.
Yeah, remember that.
Question 3 from DT Philip. What are your plans for the boosters? Do you think they're best used for the group stages? He thinks that goal booster and max captain best used in the group stages, but maybe thinking about keeping his 12th man for the final if you're trying to win your mini league. Appreciate may or not want to give your full game plans away, but initial thoughts. Are you think to start with? Are you thinking of using any of your boosters in the group stage?
Do you know? I've seen a little bit, and I'd had a bit of a think, but 12th man in that first week, because I don't know about your teams, and I don't know the 3 strikers you've got up front, because obviously we've not discussed it, but how hard is it to leave out one of them strikers in that first game?
Well, I'm fine to say this has been the easiest part of my team to pick, I think, and I've just gone straight Kane, Mbappe, Lukaku. I know, obviously, CR7 is the other standout player, but you can't have them all unless you do 12th man. and I'm kind of looking at Bruno a little bit as a all right replacement. I think you can't have all the same way you can't have Lukaku and KDB very easily. You kind of can't have Bruno, Ronaldo. So something's got to give somewhere. But yeah, I'm certainly looking maybe about 12th man in somewhere.
Yeah.
I think we've got a
I'm
question
looking
on
at.
it.
I've got it sat here as I've got Lukaku, Mbappe, Ronaldo at the minute. I was just thinking 12-man Kane first week. Yeah, it's difficult because
You don't want Kane for match day 2?
No, not particularly. It's just because as I were messing with my team, Ronaldo give me that extra 1.5 million. Obviously, bring it. It's not. It doesn't matter about the price, does it? For the 12 man, it's just a unlimited cash booster. So, yeah, it's so difficult. I think it's so easy to get it wrong. I think you could be burnt if you leave one out early doors. It'd be nice if you play the 12th man first game week and then one of them gets injured.
Not Kane.
That makes it nice and easy for the second round of matches. But yeah, it's a tricky one.
What are you thinking? Maybe on 12th man, Ben?
I missed what you said there because I went out because my computer froze again. I'm thinking 12th man in the group stage. I'm pretty much thinking use all the chips in the group stages because it's the weeks where you have the most fixtures. So get them on them fixtures. I'm not too sure which way around I'm going to do it yet, but I'm thinking them fixtures is the best time to use them because as we progress, there's going to be less games in each game week. So there's going to be less chance of say, for example, the 12th man. 12th man probably not so much, but say the goal boost, you're going to get less games. So there's going to be less goals. Max captain, there's going to be less games to pick from to get the best captain. So, yeah, it's probably going to be easier to pick a captain as we get further in the tournament. So I think you've got to use them in the group stages. And like Tony just said about 12th man, so if you're not too sure which 3 you want to start with, you could bang 4 strikers in and put one of them as your 12th man. The only thing is if you do the most expensive player as your 12th man and then he goes off and you're thinking, I ain't got him in my team, I need to get him in. You're a bit stuck for cash if you spent all your money. That's the only problem. So maybe try and I don't know, maybe try and put the most expensive player in your team and then take him out last minute and then you've got that 1.5 or whatever to get him back in the next week. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose I know we're talking about let's call them the power 4 up front, but like, you never know what could happen. You wait till the knockouts, one of them teams could get an upset. And then all of a sudden, you're sort of missing a big hitter to actually bring in for one of those games. Quite right what you said as well, Ben. Like, do you know you said there's less teams to choose from in the knockout? But that almost means that the less teams there are, the more likely we're all going to have the same teams as well. So, like, if you're playing your goal booster, everyone's more likely to have all of the same strikers. Whereas I know we're probably going to have similar front 3 when we're here in the groups, but your midfielders might be different. So it's like, it's more chance for it to be a little bit differential, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
If it does come off. Yeah, I was thinking of using 2 in the boosters, in the group stages, but I've not quite decided which ones, but it probably will be 12th man and the goal boost. I'm just trying to decide on which week because I thought as someone that wasn't looking to start with Ronaldo, I was looking at obviously Portugal for the Georgia game in match day 3, but it may not come to it. If they win their first 2, do they give Ronaldo a rest for match day 3? Or is he going to try and stat pad?
Yeah, he wants the golden boot, probably. You know how it goes, but
It was a different manager, wasn't it? When he was like left out by, was it that Gonzalo Ramos?
Yeah,
Starting some. Yeah, it's a tough
they were
one.
good. They were good, that Ramos. Is he in the squad this year?
Should be, shouldn't
But Ronaldo has been starting them all.
Just
want to have a...
Roberto Martinez is manager of Portugal now, isn't he?
Yeah. I don't know how that pans out, really.
Yeah, Ramos started 3 games, scored 3 goals, qualifying.
Gaz in the chat, Gary Walker, says, do you not think Lukaku may turn out to be a bit like Watkins was this season? Not many bonus points. Obviously, could score a few. Yeah, that is some of the... That's the good thing, isn't it? I liked Mbappe because he seems like he scores points from other stuff as well. Average bonus, one a game. Harry Kane only 2 ppm average. That's not amazing. What's Ronaldo? Yeah, nothing really bonus wise for Ronaldo, but these guys are just so good at scoring, aren't they? It's hard.
That's it. Scoring, shots on target, penalties. Penalties are bigger than it.
Yeah, I think we'll see as we get nearer on the boosters. But let us know in the comments what you're thinking. Aman's thinking 12th man for game week 1. Let us know. Are you 12th man in Aman?
He's got to be on at strikers.
Yeah, gotta be. I think. Unless, would you do a De Bruyne if you didn't have him?
See, I'm sat with Lukaku and Doku at the minute. Doku, he's great for bonus points, isn't he? So, nice fixtures for Belgium. They're holds all the way through the group, I think. Yeah, I just like Doku.
Yeah. Just they've put him at that price that really makes you consider it. There's not that many people in the game. Like, I'm looking at him thinking, if he was 4.5, I would have just put him straight in, no questions.
Yeah.
Five is making me. That's probably why I've not got him in my team. But that's probably why I've got 2 enablers and you guys have got 3.
Yeah.
Potentially, because I would have to add another one in. Yeah, I think he looks brilliant. Captain,
you're not saving your boosters for the double game week.
Yeah, they're worth more if you hold on to them. Wisby's back with his classic question: best captain picks for game week 1 or match day 1.
I mean, they've all got good fixtures, haven't they? See, yeah, Mbappe, Ronaldo, Kane, Lukaku. You want to go different, go De Bruyne, Foden, Doku.
Can you see yourself doing a... See, this is why I think that boost has ruined it as well. Can you see yourself doing a differential captain in the group? Because I can't see myself going outside of that front 3 that we're talking of. Because if someone plays the goal boost, if someone plays that goal booster and has the captain on the player...
Oh, do you still get your captain as well?
Yeah, your captain will get the extra points doubled. So, like, I feel like if you're not captaining one of the big 3, you are in trouble, I think. Obviously, we know Adoku could smash it or KDB, but that worries me.
Do you definitely get it doubled?
Well, it's still got the cap. So I've just activated the goal boost, and it's still got the captain. So I could still choose a captain.
Yeah, it's got it in the rules. It's still doubled. It's still doubled. So you'd.
Yeah,
I mean,
I remember when the defenders had the all what's it called, the part of the bus, and if you captured the defender, you didn't get quadruple points, did you? You just got the double.
Yeah, let me just bring up to confirm, but I'm sure of it. Right, goal bonus. When activated, each goal scored by players in that match day will score 10 points instead of 6 points, except your captain, who will score 20 points.
Cool.
So your captain, when you play goal boost, if they score, they get 20 points.
Right.
So match day 1, you don't fancy playing your goal boost, and you mess about and go Doku, and he's benched, and then Kane there's people goal boosting, and Kane gets a brace or something. 40 points. It's crazy, isn't it? I don't like it. I thought that
it's scary.
I don't like the booster, to be honest. There's going to be a lot of. That's one reason to play it early, I think, because I'll be panicking match day 2 if someone's played it and I'm down the bottom of the pile. Yeah, Plevna confirming as well. Points are doubled. Captain points are doubled for the goal booster. So yeah, I don't know my captain for match day 1. I'm sorry, but it will be one of the big 3.
I don't know my captain because I don't know my team yet. But yeah, obviously on the pod beforehand, then probably have more of an idea.
Yeah.
What about Bruno Fernandes?
They've got Czech Republic, or Czechia now.
Yeah.
They've got some good fixtures there. See, I think them fixtures are why I've got Ronaldo and Dallo in my team at the minute.
I'm not capping. I'm just looking at that now. I can't see myself not captaining Mbappe for Austria. Personally.
Austria no mugs like though.
No, but Mbappe, just different gravy.
Mbappe's different, yeah. He's moving to Real Madrid now, so we'll see him against decent defences.
Yeah, that one caught us out, that transfer. Wasn't much talk about it, was there? Big shock. So Nathan's second question was 12th man Mbappe match day 1 if you have Kane, Lukaku, Ronaldo as your front 3. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, same 4, isn't it?
It's going to be, I think there's going to be a lot of that. The same 4, whichever one you don't get is your 12th, isn't it? But that was a good point where you said, and I think a few people have mentioned it in the Discord already, because I don't think that would have gone straight. I don't think I would have thought of that straight up, but you could just make sure that your 12th man is the most expensive one and get a bit more budget in your team.
But just make sure if you do if you do the player you 12th man, you won't be able to captain him.
Mm-hmm. And if you do use it as a way to get extra budget, if you do want them back eventually, you're gonna have to use another transfer.
You'd have to know that you're gonna have to drop them.
Best cheap goalkeepers. Have we covered keepers? Dubravka, Lunin.
We've done a few of them, haven't we?
You like the Turk? Is it the Turkish keeper you like?
Yeah, Turkish one, Gunok. He's 2.5 million though. The Romanian.
Moldova.
Because obviously they brought in the new points, haven't they, for the play performance marks for the goalkeeper. We just touched on. It wasn't Moldovan, it was the other guy.
There was one there was barely anyone's got any points for that, isn't there? But then there's one that stood out.
There is one that has got a massive amount of aerial catches, punches.
I'm sure it was the Romanian keeper.
Hungary keepers done all right. Sweeper 6 times, 6 punches, and the high claims 4. He might be worth a shout. Kasper Schmeichel used to play for Leicester, you know. Albania's keeper. High claims 10. Might be worth a And obviously he's going to be peppered, isn't he, in those games? By the looks of it, he's got a tough group. So yeah, Albania's keeper, Berisha at 1.5 million might be. Again, we don't know how that's going to translate into points. So, but yeah, keep your keeper cheap.
We'll shout Connor out, but he's in need of some desperate defenders. But I think we covered that in the under 2.5s bit there. Is that it? And then a few from. Have I got that wrong? I feel like I've cut a few people off here.
I think you have.
Yeah.
1 second.
I had another slide somewhere. If you've got them there, read them up. I'll bring them up on Discord.
I'll quickly mention some actually, because I did look into this for the 2 million defenders. Obviously, Hansko, we've gone into. He's probably the standout cheap defender. But you like you say, Sabani. But I'm looking at the Belgian defence. De Bast, 2.5 million. He started against England, but he's just got into the squad, so that's one to monitor over the friendlies. Danso for Austria, he's started the last 2.5. Elvedi for Switzerland, he's played 2 out of 3. He's 2.5. And Leicester loanee player, Victor Christensen, got in the. He's on loan at Bologna and he got in the Champions League this year. He's 2.5 million. And he started the last 3, I believe. And he was playing wing back as well. They started playing with 3 at the back when Vestergaard came back in. Souza as well for Croatia. He's been ever present for Croatia over the years. He's only 2.5 as well.
Quite attacking as well, isn't he?
Mm.
Was he born? Was he who done well in the World Cup? Well, a lot of people chose him in the World Cup.
Yeah, he was good in the last tournament. Yeah.
Right, just loading up this remade presentation. There we go.
What about your mate Castagna, Ben? 3.5 million.
Yeah, 3.5 million. I'm not sure. I really want Mounier to start, just for old time's sake, and he was class in the last few tournaments. But Castagna can play left back as well, so be interesting to see what they do there.
Who's going to try and say Who's going? I've done it on one of my pods. Who's going to go and say the left back from Germany?
Mittelstadt.
God. I had him in one of my drafts at one point, actually.
He's attracting a load of attention. I was listening to like a few other pods and reading articles and stuff, and everyone had been talking him up. And then obviously Mike FF stuff had done his graph, and he's smashing it on the table as well. When you look at the points that he would have got, he's right up there for the points. So he looks like he's going to be an attacking left back. 3.5. I imagine he's going to be really, really popular.
He's had a good season, and he at Stuttgart. Stuttgart are finished near the top. But yeah, I don't really know much about him, to tell you the truth. I think he's been overhyped a little bit by the Euro game, the UEFA game, because he's 4 million in that, and that's like an enabler. He's 3.5 in this, so he's not that cheap. He's middling, and be interesting. See what you guys think about him.
Yeah, I think I will go for it just because, not because I particularly like him as an option. I don't know. Don't recall seeing him play or anything like that. I obviously said don't watch much European football, but just the fact that he comes in quite a bit cheaper and he's in that Germany defence for me, because like Rudiger's quite expensive. You've got Kimmich is just really, really expensive. And then I think, is it Tar below? Yeah. And he's still at 4 mil. So if you can get the left back at 3.5, that's why I would be going there, just because the price, I think.
Yeah, it's value.
Still not very cheap, but
3.5 to get into one of the biggest sides in tournament. Who's got a good group as well. It's not bad.
Have we covered Nathan's fourth question? Will we be going top heavy? I think that's pretty.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty clear. But he said, is it worth having one or two expensive defenders like a Theo Hernandez, Virgil van Dijk, Kimmich, or Stones? We mentioned Cancelo, didn't we? Because
Yeah.
it's hard to call him a defender, really, isn't it? He's an attacker that can get you clean sheets, basically.
Yeah, I think we've seen that. See, I've gone Dalot, who's at 4 million. I think Cancelo's at 4.5. Is he? Dalot scored 2 goals in the last game against Czech Republic. I think he got 2 goals and an assist actually as well. So yeah, he's a good attacking option as well as Cancelo. 500,000 cheaper, so it just works a little bit better with my budget. But I think they're both good options. They both keeps all the way through the group stages, so it's not something you need to be chopping and changing. Yeah, I like both of them.
No, he scores well on the game as well, don't he?
Yeah, he does. He does.
He's only the only thing with Dalot that I'd heard, but I don't know it myself. But there was another fullback that was injured that's just coming back. Just trying to find his name. Mendes.
Yeah.
I think.
Nuno Mendes.
Yeah. But if Dalot's been playing the bulk, you'd have to think he's ahead.
Yeah, just touching on the expensive defenders like Hernandez, PVD, Kimmich, Stones. I don't. If you put a couple of them into your team and then show me your team, I'll give you the reasons why you shouldn't put them in your team because of how much you've been missing up top.
It's because you need Souček to do it.
You've got to have you've got to have these. You've got to have 2 enablers. I think you've got two enablers to have a strong team, and if you're not using your back line or your keeper for at least 2 of the, like 1 or 2 of those, then you're going to be missing out on goals and assists, and as we know, then points have been increased for this game, so that's your bread and butter.
That's the thing. Without that change of points up in the goals and assists, without the goal boost,
yeah,
and then the captaincy is obviously new to Dream Team as well, you would have maybe built a more balanced team.
Yeah.
But
because you did target clean sheets, you might have blocked.
But everything's been tweaked in the direction of the attackers. Like we were just talking about on the normal Dream Team game not long ago, that there weren't many defenders or goalkeepers anywhere near the top players. And that's been ramped up even more now, hasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be against maybe having your front 7 heavy with all your big hitters, and then one decent like a Dalot or a Cancelo or someone of that ilk, someone who might be able to grab you a couple of goals or assists, and then with your other 3 blocking a defense of a Ukraine against Romania or a Turkey against Georgia, and the 3 group games just chase one of these small sides and put three of these enablers in. Try and get a clean sheet.
Someone's going to pull that off in it first.
Yeah, you might pull 3 clean sheets out.
Yeah, like a Turkey or Ukraine, like you say.
Yeah, you might be able to do it all the way through. You go Ukraine against Romania, even hold them in for the Slovakia game. You might get back-to-back clean sheets, and then go, I don't know, Turkey backline against Czech Republic, and you might get another clean sheet. There's your enablers, and you've left all your big hitters in.
You not fancy it for yourself? If it was the old 5 teams or whatever, people would have definitely done it, wouldn't they?
I might do it anyway. I might, target it.
What do you reckon on that, Ben?
Yeah, I don't mind it, but it's like obviously we've only got one team now, so shit or busting it. Do you not worry Van Dijk being on penalties? And obviously that not plum fixture, but decent fixture against Poland.
Yeah, let's give our man speedy boarding from his question, because his question was, it looks like Van Dijk is on penalties for the Netherlands. Should we get him in? And we're fast tracking our man to this
It's
question.
5 million.
Yeah.
Is he 5?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm having,
Right, so
I'm having Doku.
yeah, exactly. That's what just.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. So you've got the clean sheet bonuses. To be fair, he's quite dangerous from set players as well. But you'd just be hoping for a penalty, wouldn't you? Do you think Netherlands? Well, if it's the same Netherlands that turned up the last tournament, they're so attacking. They do leave themselves a little bit loose at back, and Van Dijk hasn't been brilliant for Liverpool this season.
It's going to be interesting to see how they get on with as well, because they've got Frimpong and they've got Dumfries both play on the same side. I know Frimpong can play right midfield, but they play with 3 at the back normally, so they usually play wing backs. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on in the friendlies and what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Well, he come out with something. Is it Koeman?
Yeah.
He come out with something weird in his interview, because he left someone major out, did he? Was it Matson?
Yeah.
Matson. He left him out, and he'd said, "We've already got plenty left backs. We've got Ake and we've got Van der Ven," which is a bit. I know Ake, obviously City. He's a top left back, if you want to call him a left back. But does that to me screams that maybe he's going to play like a left back, left centre back as the left back, and just bomb on that right hand side. And then you have got the choice to make between Dumfries and Frimpong.
I think Van der Ven filled in at left back, didn't he, at the end of the season for Spurs, because they had so many injuries. And he's so fast.
Yeah, left centre halves, aren't they?
Be interesting.
But they could just play. They could play one game, one the other. I think although he's gone out of my head. Not Frimpong. Who was the other one we were just talking about?
Dumfries.
We've had him in plenty of tournaments, haven't we? I'm sure he gets subbed early, doesn't he, as well? I think.
What about Timber? Is Timber not back yet?
I don't think he made the squad. I think he's only played 2 league games, hasn't he? I think.
I've seen him play for under 21s and put one in top corner against Rovers.
Yeah.
Very, very nice goal.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm fancying Virgil van Dijk.
I don't.
5 actually. I thought it was going to be 4.5.
And if I'm honest, I look at Alexander Arnold, 5 million. Is he even going to start? Theo Hernandez, France, Kimmich, 5 million, Van Dijk, 5 million.
What about Grimaldo, 4.5? Because he's gotten a lot of attention because he's had a cracking seat. They're from Spain, so Grimaldo left back.
I can't pick in that group.
Yeah, 12 goals, 16 assists for Leverkusen from left back.
It's not bad,
left
is
wing
it?
back. But then people are saying that Cucurella could start, and you think, how can Cucurella start ahead of that?
Not. Surely not.
Surely.
Yeah, I don't from 4.5 million up, apart from Cancelo, I don't like him. And then, you get a bit more value the further down you go.
Yeah. Grimaldo will be interesting to see how he gets on. He's been class this season. Even right back, they've got Porro and they've got Carvajal, but then they've got Jesus Navas in there, who's about 38. Why is he even in the squad? He was retiring at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Strange one.
Well, no, did he not get forced out at Sevilla? Because I remember they're a bit of an upset there, weren't they?
Yeah, they're on about giving him a new contract again now.
Oh, are they? Well, because of the backlash that he got.
I didn't look into it too much, but I've seen that they're on about giving him a new contract now.
Yeah.
we're on Aman's question. We'll head back up, but we'll go to his question too. Any thoughts on Rodri as well? While we're talking penalty takers, Rodri is apparently going to be the penalty taker for Spain. He took 2 in a recent friendly where it finished 3-3 against Brazil. Morata was the penalty taker before that, but Morata was on the pitch, so seems like
they must have wanted to score it. Just give it Rodri. You get Morata away from that penalty. 4 million. I think he's somebody. There's like the few players. Like it'd be nice to see Ronaldo for obviously the group stage. You got Rodri. You can have a lot of options. I think with that group, I think you're just going to let it ride out and then start looking at them players in the knockouts when it all mixes up a little bit. I just think you've got Spain, Italy, Croatia. You've got all their assets in that group of death, and none of us know how it's going to play out. But the prices are still high for what they are. At 4 million, you're buying a player at 4 or 5 million, whatever it might be. You'd want them to have at least a couple of decent fixtures. Two out of the 3. You can accept one tricky one, but not when like Spain against Croatia. We know what Croatia are like in competitions.
You got your. Have I caught you looking at your wall chart? I was wondering what you're looking at. Is that the wall chart?
I keep looking at all the groups up there. Yeah.
Oh, go on, put a plug in there then. That's a perfect.
Oh, here we go. You might on there, but you can't see it.
I thought he was being rude at first. I thought he's bloody watching the telly while we.
It's upside down, isn't it? No. It's me wall chart. That's up on my wall. They are footy fits wall chart.
I thought he was watching Coronation Street.
£4. £4 for that bad boy. Non-folded. Look at that. No creases in there. Straight, nice and flat on your wall. Comes posted. It's like bloody, what do you call it? QVC now. Comes posted in a tube. Nice rolled up. No folding required. It comes with stickers as well if you want. Stickers for all teams. So you don't have to write on it. Just use your stickers. Just put your teams in. Footyfits.co.uk. £4. There's not many left, so be quick.
We need the little countdown. Was it QVC that's got the little thing in the bottom corner?
Prize drop.
How many's left? Go on, you take this riddle up next, because I felt like this was either a tongue twister or a riddle from Andy.
Andy, my tag team partner again for the Euros, becomes second in the Premier League game. So yeah, big shout out to Andy. Yeah, he loves it, doesn't he? He knows. Name 3 countries you'd pick a player from in game day 1 that you wouldn't want in game day 2. I mean, I think the first one's obviously Italy. So you pick them against Albania, but then you wouldn't want them for the game against Spain. Then 3 countries you want a player from in game day 2 that you wouldn't want in game day 1. I think for this question, you just stick up your ticker, your traffic light system, and then look through that. It's there again. Spain, Croatia. Then you won't want them against Italy. Same. You can go through it all. Poland versus Austria. Yeah, but you won't want them against France. So that ticker answers Andy's question.
Yes, the same one that I said. Actually, I've done Italy. You'd want them for the first one, but then you'd move them on. Maybe Turkey.
Yeah.
Georgia, but you don't want them for Portugal.
Same. Netherlands, Poland. You don't want them for France. And then, yeah, just as it goes along, obviously you look for the green and to the red.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to answer Andy's question.
Yeah, I think we did mention we did a big bit on the ticker as well, didn't we, at the start?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's moving them on in the ones that have got you got your holds, haven't you? Got your long term holds, and then you've got the ones that you move on, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just remember, you only got 3 transfers a week as well.
Yeah. It sounds a lot, doesn't it? But we always use them.
You get
You think-
injuries and all sorts, can't you? So
Yeah.
and because we can't see the lineups, I mean, we all look at the predicted lineups and stuff, but there's going to be something that throws us off, isn't there?
Yeah. I think that's why it's so important we've got that vice captain as well.
brilliant.
Could
That.
be caught out.
And then the question 2: can anyone see any merit at all in having more than 3 defenders? And are any of you thinking of going down that route?
No.
No, I think you got to attack these points that they've added more points to the goals and assists. So I think you got to attack it. 3 defenders at the back.
Yeah. Quick piss for me.
I've not made any drafts without the back 3 currently. Yeah, let us know in the comments if you're thinking of doing that. I think we've covered keepers as well, but cheers, Ash, for the question, asking for a cheap goalkeeper. I think we're all going to go down that route. I didn't realise. What did you make of Andy's question 3? Disregarding the 6 points for a goal and 3 points for the assist, what do you think the order of points scored between Kane, Lukaku, Ronaldo, and Mbappe would be after match day 1? What did you make of that? Disregarding the 6 points and the 3 points, does he mean who's going to score most points outside of goals and assists, or are we just ranking those players in order?
I thought it's just ranking the players in order.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, I think that Mbappe will score highest out of them. Then possibly, I mean, it's just guessing in it, but like Lukaku, and then Kane and Ronaldo. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I've gone Kane, Mbappe, Lukaku as my front 3, but I do think that Ronaldo could outscore Lukaku. But it's just that I think that I could have a Bruno. I still probably would say that for me it might still be Mbappe, Kane, Ronaldo, Lukaku, but I just kind of feel like I can cover Ronaldo possibly with Bruno. So that's how I'd score them for. How would you rate points for those big hitters, Tony? If you had to rank them.
For first game. Or is that? Oh, yeah, for game day 1.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I mean, you could just scribble them down in any order and you could be right. Yeah, I don't know. It's just complete guesswork, isn't it?
What about Coles' question up after that? Kane or Mbappe for match day 2? I'm assuming that's like captaincy, or just who scores the most points. I guess it doesn't make any difference.
I'd probably go Mbappe against, like I say, a bit of a leaky Netherlands team. Unless they do start, like you say, Coleman saying he's got Van de Ven and Ake for left back. Whether he does start playing a little bit more, a little bit safer, should we say? Yeah, I'll probably go Mbappe.
If I can find my notes, I looked into this one and I thought this was crazy. So France actually had Netherlands in their group for the qualifying. So they've already played them twice recently.
Oh, yeah.
2 wins France, 4-0 and 2-1. How many goals do you reckon? How many do you reckon he got across the 2?
4?
Yeah, got 2 in each. So I was actually leaning towards Kane until I looked into that. I looked into it to see how they got on before, and then I looked and then saw that, and I thought it's going to have to be Mbappe, I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
scored 2.
I can't see.
They had the full lineup out as well. It wasn't like rotation or anything.
Right. I can't see England slapping Denmark. Denmark are a decent side. They show that in most tournaments as well. They're a decent side. So, not that France have got it easy against Netherlands. I just think there's more goal potential for Mbappe against them.
So consider that with your Virgil van Dijk penalty taker. Absolutely smacked by Mbappe in match day 2.
Yeah, he probably gets sent off. Van Dijk trying to chase him down.
Well, I think that's all our questions here. I just wanted to shout out a few guys. Actually, there is one question here for you, Tony. As the #1 Coventry Blaze fan, we've got Thomas Sheriff asking how you meant to cope without seeing the Blaze.
Evening, Thomas. Struggling. I'll be back down soon. Yeah. Next meetup. It's been hard. It's been hard not to see the Blaze, but I'm sure I'll be back down at some point watching another game of hockey.
I looked, and I think, to be honest, we have covered all of these. So I'm just going to shout guys out. So we've got Jen there, asking obviously when to play the goal booster. We've covered the boosters. FPL manager change. Obviously, we spoke captaincy for game week 1. Martin Beasley. We've done best budget defenders. Thomas 1417. Best players 2 mil and under. So we covered that as well. And then Ethan, actually, Ethan, right, on the normal Dream Team game, asks me about his drafts every week. And he's a diehard City fan. And he sends his team every week, and it's just all City. No joke, 11 City players. What do you think? Can you rate my team? What do you think of my team? And he's got 11 City every week in the normal season.
He's a wind-up.
Still asks. And then in the Euros game, he dropped a message on my recent YouTube video. So can you rate my team for me? He sent it over, and it was just City, but in the Euros. So yeah, good crack from Ethan.
Who's his goalkeeper then?
Oh, let me see if I can find it. Because the thing that made me laugh, actually, he'd had Ortega like all season on the normal Dream Team before he was actually even playing. And every week I was like, come on, mate, why are you not changing Ortega? He's like, nah, he's my keeper. Oh, I'm not going to be able to find it. I can't remember who he had in goal.
Probably Schmeichel.
No, dedication. I'll tell you who he had. He had Angus Gunn.
Oh, yeah. Ex-City, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did. So, yeah.
Angus Gunn.
Surely Schmeichel's a better keeper than Angus Gunn for the Euro game.
Who's he capping? KDB, Doku, Foden or Rodri? Or Angus Gunn?
Doku.
Go for Doku.
Go on, mate. Go for Doku. If he wins it with this full City team.
Could you imagine?
Absolute scenes. Last few bits. Do you want to talk us through the cash leagues we've got going on for the Euros?
Yeah. So, obviously, that's Trusted League. Do it every season, every Euros, every World Cup. Euro Cash League, £20 entry into this. Obviously, there's a lot of cash leagues knocking around. And now we've only got one team. We do always try and mix it up on the Tonic. So we want different winners. We don't want all the cash leagues, people join all of them, and we just end up with the same winner. So we do, with a help of our good friend Mike at FF Stuff, each round of games, there'll be a winner. So whoever scores the most points in the first round of the group games, there'll be a winner, first, second, and third. Same second round of group games. Everyone starts from 0 again. Third, second, and third. Same for the third round of group games. And then, obviously, an accumulated points throughout the whole tournament. There'll be a third, second, and third place prize. Obviously, on the Dream Team app, you won't be able to see the standings for each group game, but that's where the Magic Man Mike comes in at ffstuff.co.uk. The standings will be on there live, which we thank him for doing that for us each season. So, yeah, get involved. £20, plenty of prizes up for grabs. So, yeah. And then the Tag Team League, which, yeah, it's done well. Great competition last season in the Premier League, bringing that into the Euros. Again, something different. So pick a partner, team up, £20 a team. That's £10 per manager. And again, the standings, you basically both your scores are added together, and you'll see the standings on ffstuff.co.uk. So there's nothing to do on your end. You don't have to start adding up your points or messing around. That's all done by Mike at FF Stuff. So, yeah, get involved in that. It's a nice, fun way to play the game because it mixes it up. It mixes it up, definitely. A massive success, I think, from last season, the Tag Team League.
Wicked. And then just if you want to join the Patreon, become one of our Patreon members. We're chatting all day long currently in the Discord about the Euro Dream Team. It doesn't stop for the summer this year. So, yeah, we're chatting about that on a daily basis. The Dream Team Euro 2024 Discord is going off at the minute. Obviously, you get early access to the pod. So we're currently live to our Patreon members who are tuning in, dropping their comments, and you get early access to the pod. So if you're interested in that, there'll be a link in the description below. We'll have an article coming out as well just before the start of the season, sort of highlighting top picks, fixtures, all that sort of stuff. So that article will be up there. We'll have fixture ticker. What else? Have I missed anything, guys?
You got an article coming out for the Euros as well, haven't you?
Yeah. That's gonna put it all into one big article right the week before we go. And then just a little plug for my channel as well, because I'm doing previews on each group on YouTube currently. Looking at it now, I'm thinking I've bit off a bit much here. I'm only on group B. I'm previewing with the current form, set piece takers, top picks from each. We're only on group B, so I better pull my finger out. But they're up. They're up there as well if you want to go and check those out. But I think that's it, lads.
Yeah, it's been always a long one. The first one, break its back.
It just feels like a chat though. Like,
yeah,
this is so much more fun than just sitting on my own doing them. I feel like I'm just having a chat here.
Yeah, just have a chat, a few beers. Let's discuss some Dream Team.
Are we going to win? Are we going to win Euros?
What, England? Or win the Euro Dream Team?
Well, both.
I hope so. I did one of my, I don't know if you've seen my sweepstake kits on the website, but I took one into work, did the sweepstake, put all the teams into all the envelopes, blah, blah, you know the drill. I picked my team like 7th. I was the 7th person to pick a team out. Obviously, you don't find out until the end. And I when people were saying, "Oh, you might have fixed it, this, that, over," I was thinking, just pull out Albania, and there's no arguments.
Done with it.
But I pulled out England, so you can imagine the guy who's set it up, the guy who's collecting all the money. Yeah, I pull out England. So
cool.
A few disgruntled people in my workplace.
You fancying it, Ben?
Yeah, I think England do well, but just the pessimist in me thinks we're gonna like lose in the semis or something.
How things have changed where we run about semi-finals now, and we're not just basically getting
quarterfinals,
group stage or last 16 quarterfinals. Like, we're a good side. We've got some of the best players in the world now. Like, we're up there. Even if we're a bit shit, we should get to the semi-finals.
We've got penalty takers in the squad now, haven't we? Cole Palmer and
Yeah.
Tony have took a couple of penalties over the last few games. So be interesting if we do get to that point again, which we usually do in a tournament. So yeah.
What would you rather? England win the Euros or you win the 25 grand? Dream team?
I'll win the 25 grand. And then England win the next one.
Yeah, definitely.
What about the 5 grand?
Same.
The one?
No.
The 1,000?
No, England can win it for £1,000.
Yeah, for a grand, we'd take one for the nation, surely.
That's what the questions quickly. The questions people always say are: would you rather England win a tournament or you see your team win the Premier League? But I don't know. What would you say?
Always your club.
Always your club.
Mm.
So next season, say for example, Blackburn are in the Premier League. Would you rather see Blackburn win the Premier League or England win the Euros?
Blackburn win the Premier League.
What about you, Arsenal?
Oh, that's put me on the spot now. Because I think that Arsenal, I mean, it has actually been a long time, hasn't it? But I feel like Arsenal have got it in them to win the league eventually.
Mm.
I'll take it. Maybe I'm just feeling a bit.
Yeah.
England, but yeah. I'll take one for the country and we'll win the Euros.
Yeah. So I would take England because I've seen Leicester win the Premier League. And this was a question that was put to me about FA Cup. Before I seen Leicester win the FA Cup, I would have said Leicester win the FA Cup. So if it was England win the Euros or Leicester win the FA Cup, I would have said Leicester win the FA Cup. But now I've seen Leicester win the FA Cup. I've seen them win the Premier League. It's got to be England now. So it's just funny how if you're a Man United fan or a City fan, you probably I don't know what they'd say.
Yeah.
But
if we were Arsenal back in 8th place, I'd have probably just gone, go on, give us the title.
Yeah.
England did me when we lost on penalties to Italy because that was on my birthday.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I have my joint birthday party and England the Euro final. I'm thinking everybody will forever remember my birthday if this happened. Fucking lose on penalties. Devastated end.
You'd have to win it on pens though, wouldn't you? Just to wrap it up.
To be fair though, I remember who did we play? Were it Colombia? And we won on penalties.
Yeah.
Honestly, I shed a tear. I shed a tear watching us win on penalties. Unbelievable.
Covered in beer.
You were covered in beer. I was at home watching that.
I was at home as well.
Yeah.
Saying I don't believe we're going to go out again on penalties.
Yeah. Wow. The England final, I was in the pub and I was absolutely smashed. For the first half, we absolutely smashed them. I thought we were going to win easy, and then like it just went tits up, didn't it? The Euro.
That Colombia one was a midweek, wasn't it?
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I remember being sick at work the next day. I'm sure.
I just want to quickly mention the obviously it's a different game. I've got a Telegraph mini league going. It's £10 entry, and you get 5 teams maximum entry in that. 50 transfers for the whole tournament. So, get involved if you play Telegraph.
Is that £10 for 5 teams, or is that £10 per team maximum of 5?
£10 per team, and you get a maximum of 5 teams. Bit like the old Dream Team format, so no captains in this.
And you can you make changes during the game week, can't you?
Yeah, so if there's a game, say a game kicks off at 5, you can take that player out for the next match. So it kicks off at 8. You can put another player in, and you still
even
get
in the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just as long as the kickoffs are after. So you can get there will be 2-for-1s along the way.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Are you going to be playing the other one, the official fantasy one?
No.
No.
Might give the fan team a go, and yeah, I think that's about it really.
Cool.
Sky's not doing one this year.
Well, that's that then. We're back. Do you know what date we're doing? I'm not around for next weekend, am I? But do we know a date yet, or should we post that out later?
It'll be Sunday.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you, everyone. If you've enjoyed it, please do leave a like and subscribe if you're not already. And we'll see you next weekend.
Cheers,
Goodbye.
everyone. Thank you very much.
Cheers.